Hello, my dear friends. Today we will talk about my favorite topic. Not anime and not food, a different one. We will talk about my love and hate mixed together and embedded into 17 tons of steel. Today, Ukrainian army fights with many Western armored vehicles, Bradleys, Strykers, or Leopards. But long before those arrived, we relied on our own machines, primarily, of course, different Soviet-built stuff you often see in the movies. However, since 2014, Ukraine has built and improved its own armored vehicles like the BTR-3 and BTR-4, and today we will talk about those. I want to show you why these vehicles mattered. Since the earliest days of war, the BTRs have carried soldiers into battle, protected them under fire, and proven themselves against Russian forces. Designed in Ukraine, built for war, and tested in real combat, for more than a decade, these machines were a key part of our fight for survival. Today we will take a closer look at the BTR-3 and BTR-4, Ukraine's own steel drag cars of the battleground. I've had a chance to learn more about those BTRs back in late 2016 when we were sergeants. Back then our command had sent us to the military school to obtain necessary skills of commanding and operating the BTR-3 vehicles that were the core personnel carriers in our brigade at that time. And as every infantry sergeant in the mechanized brigade, we were obliged to know how to operate these vehicles. The BTR-3 is an 8x8 wheeled armored personnel carrier developed in Ukraine. It is designed for troop transport, fire support, and reconnaissance missions. It is operated by a crew of 3, a commander, a gunner, and a driver, and the onboard troop capacity is 6-7 fully equipped soldiers. However, we managed to fit as much as 9. BTR-3 weighs quite a lot, 17-18 tons depending on its configuration. The vehicle is equipped with steel armor, protecting it against the small arms fire and shell fragments. The BTR is also equipped with nuclear, biological, and chemical defense systems and conditioner. My favorite part is its weaponry, because BTR-3 is equipped with a serious firepower. There's an unmanned turret on top of it, and its most common configuration is armed with a 30mm automatic cannon, 7.62mm machine gun, 30mm automatic grenade launcher, and 2 laser-guided anti-tank missiles called Barrier. Just so you could imagine, the 30mm automatic cannon has a range of almost 4 kilometers, or roughly 2.5 miles. Back in my days, we even tried using them as a mini artillery, which wasn't really effective, but still possible. Basically, BTR-3 can shoot almost as far as an 82mm mortar. The commander inside the BTR usually operates the observation camera, which can automatically rotate the turret in the same direction to assist the gunner. However, the commander can operate the turret just as effectively as the gunner, because the control panel is basically the same. In fact, if gunner feels bored while you're shooting and he also wants to play, he can basically tap your shoulder, because he's sitting behind you, and hand you a chocolate bar or beef jerky to please you, and then you can switch the turret control from the commander to the gunner. In my case, it always worked like this. Inside the unmanned turret, you can find impressive amount of munitions. 350 shells for the main gun, 2,000 rounds for the machine gun, and more than 100 grenades for the automatic grenade launcher. In addition to this, the BTR-3 is armed with 6 smoke grenades, which proved to be really efficient during the evacuation missions. The 30mm shells can be either armor-piercing or high-explosive, and you can switch between the two during the combat, which is really comfy depending on the situation. The turret is also stabilized, so you can easily open fire on the go. Of course, it's not as perfect as in a tank, but still a skilled gunner can be able to hit his target while driving over a bump somewhere in the field. As for the power plant, there's several options. It's either Ukrainian built UTD-20, which is a diesel engine with manual gearbox, or automatic Deutz engine delivering 326 horses. I mean, of course, it's not as fast as your Porsche 911, but if you go to a nightclub on this baby, you will absolutely become a star of the show, I guarantee. Being a lazy European, of course, I always preferred the Deutz engine with automatic gear, but unfortunately I was mostly driving the manual ones. In fact, I received my driver's license way after I learned how to drive BTR-3, which is kind of cool. I remember the first time we were driving, I nearly crashed into a herd of cattle on a pasture nearby, but that day cows got lucky. In fact, we could really have some barbecue. In addition to all that, the wheels in this BTR are equipped with a compressor, so there's no need to run around and pump the wheels yourself. And also, I've never tried that personally, but the BTR-3 can cross rivers. On its rear there is a hatch containing a propeller, and if needed, you can temporarily turn your APC into a yacht, which is really handy because you don't need to set up your pontoon bridges to cross smaller rivers. It can be done on the fly. Now, what is the difference between BTR-3 and BTR-4? Actually, both platforms have their own upsides and downsides. For example, BTR-4 is considered more safe because the troops enter and exit the vehicle through the rear hatch, while in BTR-3 you have to jump in or out the side hatches. Also, in BTR-4 the crew is separated from the troop compartment with the capsule, so in case of a direct hit there's always a chance that either crew or the troops will survive. Our company sergeant was a BTR-4 commander in 2014, and he told me that his vehicle was hit and he survived due to its design. Another advantage of BTR-4 over the BTR-3 is that it's kinda easier to reload. The reason both vehicles have such an impressive weaponry is that you can't really reload its weapons during combat. You have to withdraw to a safe spot where it will take you around 40 minutes or about an hour to reload all the weapons. In BTR-4 this process is kinda easier due to its design. However, the biggest advantage of BTR-3 is its speed and maneuverability, because BTR-4 weighs even more than this one, almost 22 tons. And that, my friends, is a lot. Basically, you can hear the BTR-4 at a much bigger distance because its engines have to deal with additional weight of the vehicle, while BTR-3 is comparably more quiet and much faster. A lot of work has been done over the years to improve the main gun. The Ukrainian built 30mm ZTM-1 cannon is basically a copy of an aviation gun, and you may ask what's the difference. The difference, my friends, is that up in the sky you don't encounter much dirt and mud. That is why ZTM-1 requires additional care and additional cleaning in order to avoid jams and misfire. Of course, it's nothing special, but it takes time, and you must understand that soldiers, especially the crew, are always tired. Therefore, spending additional time on servicing the turret was extremely crucial. Otherwise, there was a chance that it would betray you in combat, which wasn't good. Another thing was the build quality. My own BTR was checked and repaired quite often, actually. You know, as we say in Ukraine, trust but check. But besides that, it was and still is a very much modern combat machine. It has a lot of features, making it stealthy, deadly, and improving the survivability of the people inside. You know, my friends, I have a secret dream, actually. I want to make a computer game one day that I would call a World of BTR, you know, with RPG elements, solving quests with legendary characters like those in my brigade. that would be fantastic. For example, you're starting a mission, but it turns out that your driver is in a neighboring village spending time with a local lady. So you have to find him, bring him back, and go on a mission. Or for example, if you're spawned with a legendary driver, call sign Basta from my brigade, you gotta be extremely careful while driving because he's 6 feet tall, and if there's a bump on the road somewhere, he may hit the hatch and drift off. Or if you're spawned with a legendary commander Tyaj, he won't fit inside your BTR because he's a big guy, so he will run around your BTR, during mission, taking cover and being tactical. Please let me know in the commentaries if you have any additional questions regarding Ukrainian BTR-3 and 4, or if you want to help me make the game. I will be very, very much pleased to answer your questions. Thanks for watching. My name is Operator Starsky, and as always, be safe.